games for the Hawkeyes, playing against the most intense Big Ten. They handled it with aplomb against Michigan State yesterday. In fact, flipping the script against the Spartans. They'll look to do that again this time. Here's Olsen netting her own three, and what a start here in our final quarterfinal.
They love Lucy in Iowa City. Number 33 for three on that last possession, and then got a deflection defensively. Look at how lanky she is and disruptive as a defender. The transfer in from Villanova.
McMahon, 2 for 2. She's already fired up.
Kevin McGuff said, hey, he needs for her to get downhill, hit the threes, and get to the free throw line and not fall in love with any of those three aspects. But if one of them's quick and stick with it, right now is the three ball, Sloan. Two of them.
McMahon, he says she's at her best, being diverse with her shot, but those threes open and falling here early.
Yeah.
Olsen giving a look inside. Stokey has McMahon on her. They wall up in the paint and ripped down by Petty, who's playing her best basketball of the season right now. Jelani Cambridge barreling into the lane, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Kylie Fearback, an underrated defender, stepping in. Kevin McGuff in his 12th season, last year's Big Ten Coach of the Year. They're seeking their third straight season as a top 16 seed to host those first two rounds. They were undefeated at the shop this season, 15-0. That's not some motivation to make sure you're a top 16 seed. I don't know what is.
No, absolutely, and it's the staunch defensive effort that we've seen from Ohio State all season long and all career long, if you're talking about Kevin McGuff and what he's been able to execute with his coaching philosophy on that side of the court. But that's what it takes to get those gaps covered.
Olsen somehow got that shot off over Petty, gets it back from Stokey, stepping into a three. And the rebound taken by Fury. You're seeing some athletic rebounding in this one. They go into Petty. Quickly, Olsen is switching off.
Yeah, he's got Hannah Stokey sitting straight behind her. She's looking for another touch.
He's calling for it again, one-on-one, sweeping across the lane for two.
Well, that's just tough. Petty staying connected with Hannah Stokey down inside. Stokey was caught behind her. She just maneuvered to the weak side and got that flipped up and in. And that's something that Ohio State's going to continue to do. Ask Kevin McGuff, who is the X factor for the team and who needs to do well? And he said Taylor Theory. She's the glue.
Sitting a falter, leaving that short. Follows her own miss. Rifled inside. Stokey too strong. Sticking with it on the glass. And Chance Gray up the floor.
Great patience right there to come out, reorganizing the court. Ohio State looking for Jelani Cambridge to get a touch.
Backdoor cut. It's beautiful playmaking by McMahon, setting the tone for the Buckeyes. They are 4 of 4 to start this game.
Really seeing really good continuity on the offensive end for the Buckeyes right now with great spacing.
The sprint to the rim by Olsen, so quick with that burst.
Like a hot knife through cold butter right there. Lucy Olsen just slices her way to the rack for the easy deuce in transition.
McMahon being guarded by a falter, incredibly physical, poked away by Stokey, and it's going the other way. Leading the Hawkeyes her first season as a head coach. She spent over 800 games on the sideline for the Hawkeyes, third coach in program history to win 20 games and their first season. And she took this team from 5 losses in a row, 2 in overtime, including to this Ohio State team to wins in 10 of their last 12 games.
Yeah, she said it.
Back getting to the rim and ripped down by Petty.
And Jen Jensen said that 5-game losing streak really tested their character and mettle. And they really came out on the other side of that, performing exceptionally well and gaining momentum at the right time here in March.
There's quite the pace to this game so far. Multiple players going coast to coast. Olsen can't convert on that side.
The early offense in the quarter and the open floor has been great for both teams.
Cambridge along too. She is huge for the Buckeyes against Iowa the first time they met. 29 points, 4 assists in that overtime victory.
Yeah, she said that she was unconscious in that game and just decided to let those shots go. And that's what you like to see with freshmen, not overthinking. There's a lot to learn as a freshman, but you don't want that to hamper your fluidity of thought and motion.
Against Maryland, she fouled out of the game, trying to regroup here. Told us before that game, I'm feeling unstoppable right now. Speaking of, Ohio State looking that way to start. 12-5 is their lead. The energy contagious here in Cambridge in quarter number 1. Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. By TIAA. And by Discover. The Hawkeyes jubilant after that victory, moving their name up on the bracket. Lucy Olson, all smiles for this team that has won 10 of their last 12 games, but not only that, 7 of those wins have come by double figures. They have just one loss by double digits this year. This team really coming together and clicking at the right time.
Well, you're looking at a zone now by Iowa. They're going to mix it up. Player to player is their man-to-man, or a zone, and another charge.
One thing to cut into that energy of Cody McMahon and her productivity is early foul trouble. She is prone to getting those offensive fouls.
Got to take the pain away from Cody McMahon. When she gets a full head of steam, she's going to come back with the spin move, and right there, Iowa's defense was aware, and they took the charge. And that's what they're going to have to continue to do, make reads and predict where she's going to move offensively.
She's behind only Rutgers' Destiny Adams in offensive fouls this season in the Big Ten. Don't want to have to take her off the floor if you are the Buckeyes. Elsa Lemila checking into the game for the first time. Fierbach will launch a 3 and chased down by Cambridge, who's extremely quick with the ball in her hands. Gets it to her sister Kennedy, who loses the dribble. And a turnover for Ohio State.
Just got sped up a little bit there in transition. Kennedy Cambridge just couldn't control the pass. Tried to cross it over and bumped it off her shin, and it went out of bounds.
Lucy Olson needs to be talked about more as a defender.
Absolutely.
From the beginning of the year, it's her length and her effort that they have applauded on the coaching staff, but it's about recognition.
Yeah, that's exactly what I asked Jan Jensen yesterday about her, and everyone's talking about, oh, Lucy's mid-range game, which is very stout, but she is a tough defender, and that's exactly what Jan Jensen answered. She said, yeah, she's got those long arms, she takes away gaps, and she's quick on her feet on the defensive end.
2 seconds left, the floater too strong by Olson, keeps it alive. A lot of time spent over here, multiple second chance opportunities.
Oh, she did.
A travel by Fierbach.
It was very quick. Right before she put the ball on the deck, she took an extra little step. Giddy up step there, whistled for the travel.
Well, the Hawkeyes playing with a lot of energy right now, but they're 2 of 12 from the field. It was their 3rd game in 3 days, handling both opponents in the Big Ten tournament so far by at least 13 points versus Wisconsin and then Michigan State.
Well, in that Wisconsin game, they shot 57% from the floor and shot the lights out. Shot 11 made threes in that contest and really had things clicking. We'll see if they don't rely on those outside shots as much, because it is the 3rd game in a row. Maybe be more forceful at getting touches in the painted area.
Kennedy Cambridge just trying to be a bully to the freshman Taylor Stremlow. This is an aggressive defensive team, even in the half court for Ohio State.
Yeah, Kennedy Cambridge was a shadow right there defensively, just not going anywhere.
Olson stuck under the rim. Terrific defense by Chance Gray, who blows by multiple Hawkeyes, hitting Cambridge on the run.
And that's when Ohio State is at their best. Stops and scores, rebounds and push-ahead passes, and steal and score opportunities, whether it's out of their 2-2-1 press or out of their man-to-man on the other side defensively.
Guyton too strong. The shooting woes continue for the Hawkeyes. 2 of 15 as McMahon pulls up right in the middle of the paint.
There were no rebounders in place for Ohio State. That was a tough bucket. Attempted there by McMahon.
Along the baseline, it's a falter. And that foul's going to go on McMahon, her 2nd, with 2:18 on the clock here in the 1st quarter.
Let's take a look at the infraction right here. Cody McMahon didn't take the baseline away, and this is what happens, right? You're out of position the entire time, right? You got to get off and get to the baseline, beat them to the spot. You can't run alongside, and now Cody McMahon has to take a seat again.
The exact thing that Iowa wants is Cody McMahon on the bench with 2 personal fouls, because you take her out, obviously her impact, but trying to regain the steam that she had to start this game with back-to-back threes at the get-go.
Yeah, knocked in a couple of triples, playing good defense. But then sometimes if you're beaten on that first step, if someone attacks your hip and you're not in position, give it up to the help and trust your teammates to be there to take away those angles. Or get off and try to sprint ahead. There's not a lot of space when that occurs on the baseline, but you got to make wise decisions on the defensive end, especially when you're Cody McMahon.
Those fouls happening in just a span of about 2.5 minutes as well. 10 seconds to shoot for the Buckeyes, who are going to have to regroup. They don't have Jelani Cambridge or Cody McMahon in the game. Could it be Taylor Theory, the X Factor, picked out by Coach McGuff? Lemila miss everything there. A shot clock violation, and the Hawkeyes fired up at that step.
Kevin McGuff fired up also in a different way. He's not happy with that offensive possession.
6 turnovers for the Buckeyes. They'll try to use their press to get back into it. Kennedy Cambridge knew exactly where to go. Theory, a rare miss at the rim. Now 1:30 to play in the first quarter. Look at Guyton, the freshman, going to take command of this offense. Has had the typical freshman highs and lows, but looking confident right now. Early minutes on the floor. Here's Stolke stopped at the rim. Lemila is a stalwart defensively.
Yeah, she was right there to wall up Stolke, and Stolke was leaning back on that shot. She's got to power through. I know she had 2 bodies right there, but you take the energy off the shot when you lean away.
Good ball movement by the Buckeyes against this zone. In the hands of Theory now with 10 to shoot, under a minute to play in the first. Gray sensing the time running down, sets herself up for 3. Stolke will nab it.
Solid stop defensively yet again by Iowa.
Up ahead to Ava Hayden.
Oh, sorry, she just took a really harsh tumble into the table.
And she smiled as she's getting up.
Man, listen, well, that's good to be young. I'm glad she's okay, but that was horrible looking. Oh my goodness, a great hustle right here. But look at this, what she hit the ref with the ball and then crashed into the camera person, and the table. She's right back up. Wouldn't be me. I'd still be over there under the table somewhere holding my whole right side. Oh my God.
Christy, I'd be at your side helping you out. Under 30 seconds left. Taylor Theory getting inside. Kennedy Cambridge tries to dish it out. 10 to shoot, taken by Stremla.
Iowa trying to get one crack at it. You see Jan Jensen imploring her team to execute.
Shot clock is off for Lucy Olsen, guarded by Kennedy Cambridge, who takes immense pride in her defense. They're going underneath the screen. This time on top, it opens up Olsen in the mid-range, and she gets it to drop.
Yeah, she just serpentined her way around that pick-and-roll coverage on that high ball screen. Lucy Olsen playing with extreme experience. Great mental wherewithal. The Hawkeyes sticking and staying right with Ohio State right.
Buckeyes leading by 5, start of the second. Kevin McGuff earlier to Elise Woodward.
Coach, your defense phenomenal, just 9 points allowed, and you held Iowa scoreless for over 5 minutes. What are you pleased with?
Well, I thought we played hard defensively, but we're not doing anything on offense. We got to move the ball and get better shots.
All right, appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you.
They also turned it over 7 times in that first quarter.
Yeah, and Iowa was able to score 5 points off of those. So you see the 9 points by Iowa. 5 of those 9 have come off of those 7 miscues by Ohio State. And now with Cody McMahon on the bench with 2 fouls, Kevin McGuff not pleased with the continuity, flow, and rhythm and cadence on the offensive end. Got to get something going.
Hannah Stolke says, this is not enough help defense to slow me down. Takes it up to the rim.
Solid down inside. Hannah Stolke, a member of the team in back-to-back championship game appearances in the NCAA tournament. Had her care what you say. I mean, tactically speaking, you can't compare that to anything. I mean, the emotion of going to the Final Four alone is big time stuff.
Asia Petty, the playmaking by Theory, setting up a close-range shot.
Ooh, looks like she carried that ball a little bit under the pressure. Taylor Theory.
There is the pressure. Madison Green will take it all the way for two, and that's what Ohio State does. They swarm and smother.
Well, they want to get it and go. Taylor Theory right there, walling up in that blitz.
Lucy Olsen, that was quite the hesitation. Kept alive by Stremlow, stuck along the baseline. She steps out, and it's Ohio State ball.
That was almost a 3-second call as well, but it's a turnover nonetheless. But speaking of turnovers, right here, Ohio State doing what they do. Like bees to honey, swarming to that basketball, turning that into easy offensive opportunities going the other way.
22 is their full court press. Coach McGuff says it's organized chaos. But you usually see Taylor Theory in on the action using her 6'2" length. A spin move by Petty goes awry. Taylor McCabe, one of the top three-point threats in the country, not just the Big Ten. Getting the ball right back into her hands, letting it fly. And tracked down by Theory.
Let's see what they can come up with here as the Iowa defense establishes itself in the zone again. Cambridge turns it over.
They fell asleep, and Olsen takes advantage on the other side.
Those long, lanky arms by Lucy Olsen getting in the way of any flow of offense by Ohio State.
Cambridge, the freshman point guard, in her first Big Ten tournament. The Big Ten Freshman of the Year sets up Green, who's too strong. Petty tries to take it away from Stolke. And it's going to stay here.
Look at the incredulous look on the face of Jen Jensen. Thought there was a lot of contact there by Petty. They had some contact trying to get the rebound. There's J.C. Sheldon. She is now on the coaching staff with Ohio State, and she was talking about that organized chaos and pouring into the current Buckeye squad about how to fly around defensively. It's tough to scout when you play defense that way. You don't know when the traps are coming, but you know they're going to be coming. And you better know how to operate under duress.
Iowa turns it over. No credit to Ohio State there, just a miscue. Meanwhile, there's been 15 combined turnovers in this first half already. Maybe something Coach Jensen's talking to the bench about.
You just got to be composed with your decisions.
Green orchestrating this offense, sharing the floor with Jelani Cambridge, something we've seen more of in the second half of the season, the 6th year and the freshman. As Theory tries to extend to the rim, she's cut short. Whoa. Feuerbach takes a big spill. She's back up. Meanwhile, Stolke had the angle and gets the easy two.
Quick score opportunities have served Iowa well. They've been trying to carve back into this one, but Ohio State still in the lead.
Cambridge has not been finding good looks for herself just yet as Feuerbach sends it flying. Olsen all by herself drains the three.
Well, that sequence of events was exactly what the doctor ordered. You know, a big block right here, a big block leading to a big bucket on the other side. A skip pass, and then a triple by Lucy. They love Lucy.
This quarterfinal is a rematch of the 2023 championship game in the Big Ten tournament in Minneapolis. A rout by number 2 Iowa defeating Ohio State, part of the 3 straight. Iowa has won in the Big Ten tournament. Most outstanding player, none other than the legend herself, Caitlin Clark, after that 105-72 win. She's standing by live with Elise.
Well, Caleb, the last time we saw you at a Big Ten tournament, you were capping 3 straight wins, the most outstanding player, and here you are in your new home with the Fever. How surreal is this for you?
It's pretty fun, and I love getting to be able to support this program. And obviously, a lot of these girls were my teammates, and getting to see Jan in her first year, and they're playing their best basketball right now. So just get to be supportive of them, and you know, I love this time of the year, March. I miss it, so it's fun getting to support them.
You have been known to get animated in your career. I know Jan got a little animated yesterday, picked up her first technical. How would you grade out that performance? Did she get her money's worth?
Unacceptable. No, I honestly thought she might have been getting ejected, honestly, because she kept going, but I loved it. I love that fiery, competitive spirit, and I know it got the girls fired up, too. They responded well to it. I had that taken care of for Coach Day and Coach Bluter when I was playing. They didn't have to get any, so they have to get them now. Coach Day has to get them now, but just love her competitive spirit, and she's done a great job with the program, so it's fun to watch.
Your Iowa Hawkeyes are absolutely red hot, and right here neck and neck with Ohio State. What have you seen from them that has really they've just responded down the stretch?
Well, they just play hard, and I think if you watch, you can tell how good of a team they are. They're always, you know, making the right plays. They're cheering for one another. You know, they're just a group of 15 girls that are just really well connected, and that just speaks to the culture they have at Iowa and we had when we were there. And it continues to carry over, and they play basketball the right way, and that's why people love supporting them and coming to their games. So that's why I'm here. I love it. I love getting to see some of my best friends play basketball and have a lot of fun doing it. So
it's awesome, Caitlin. So many 22 jerseys for the Fever and Iowa here, all in one spot. Really appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Caitlin. We'll send it back over to you guys.
Thanks, Elise. I love what she said. Somebody's got to be fiery right now, and applauding Coach Jensen for stepping in her place.
No, I love that. Somebody's got to do it. But Caitlin Clark, she's done it all in an Iowa uniform that was retired earlier this season in Iowa City, and a win over USC in that game at home. But, I mean, she has such a litany of awards and accolades. It's almost like movie credits when it goes running and you're looking at each and everything. And then last year in the WNBA with the Indiana Fever being named the WNBA's Rookie of the Year. The All-Star game in the WNBA is right here at Gainbridge Arena this summer.
The Fever are going to be contenders this year. You can definitely see that happening with their off-season pickups, and excited to see her development in year number 2.
And Stephanie White, our girl, Steph White is the head coach. It's going to be fun for her to come back home and coach.
Jelani Cambridge getting charged up here as Ohio State on a 6-0 run, just the last 45 seconds.
Pace control, and everyone thinks pace is your offensive pace. No, it's your defense and how many consecutive stops you can get, and they got another stop. And here's the pace. Ohio State, push-ahead pass. See Madison Green getting it up ahead to the freshman. Oh, my goodness. Hanging in the air with the greatest of ease, Jelani Cambridge with the easy deuce on the run.
24-18, Ohio State on top. Meanwhile, for Iowa, 12 of their points have come from Lucy Olson. They're going to have to try and find more production. On Sunday, a men's hoops doubleheader comes your way. The final day of the regular season. We have the Gophers clashing with the Scarlet Knights, and the Ducks squaring off against the Huskies. Coverage begins with a tip-off show at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. And of course, on the men's side, Michigan State taking sole possession of the Big Ten regular season championship. A lot of momentum coming in to Gainbridge Fieldhouse for that squad.
Yeah, 11 of them for historical coach Tom Izzo there. And East Lansing ran out of fingers for those regular season championships. And it's going to be a great tournament here next week for the fellas in the Big Ten.
McMahon working from the high post, rifles it inside. Asia Petty will miss at close range.
She was right in there. Kevin McGuff just holds his temples on that last play because, gosh, this is what you want. You got to pay it off and finish.
Staying right here off the effort from Hannah Stolke on the glass. So trying to find some more scoring beyond Lucy Olson. She's 5 of 14 from the field. Stolke behind her with 4 points on 5 shots. Here she goes to work again. Is walled up against by Kennedy Cambridge. This is a fun one to watch. Stolen away. Asia Petty read it all the way.
Yeah, nice and loose, and that's what you do. That ball isn't going to change direction when it's in the air.
Man was looking for her third 3. Stolke skying for that rebound. She is fouled.
And she waved her hand, and she has to be careful doing that. There's been an inside battle in this game in this first half for sure. Look at that, Stokey getting into the body, but then Petty staying nice and loose to jump around and get the steal. And then here's the glass work and the extra curricular contact by Petty. So that was perfect defense on the other side by Petty, staying loose. When that ball is passed from the guards for that entry pass, you gotta jump around.
Offensive foul, Sydney Falter turns it over for the Hawkeyes. That is 11 so far in this first half.
Kennedy Cambridge is doing the dancing with the stars defensively right there, taking away angles and setting her body up in legal guarding position to take that charge.
Botched handoff, Petty lets it float away. Feuerbach charging into the front court.
Good job by Hannah Stokey to empty out, trying to create an avenue for her teammates to attack, dragging the defender away.
Falter steamrolling to the rim and snatched out of the air by Petty. It's fun to watch her rebound and go to work. She's got 3 straight double-doubles after a long stretch where she was only scoring 5 points, 3 rebounds per game.
Well, she brings a lot of experience to the table. 2 years at LSU and then 2 years at Kentucky before making the move to Columbus.
Averaged a double-double last year in the SEC, finding her stride right now at the best time for the Buckeyes. Stokey trying to get open against Petty. A very physical battle in the paint. It opens up a Falter for 3 from the corner.
Sydney Falter has waited her turn. Came in as a freshman, played behind some greats. Monica Sonano, Peyton Clark on the court, and now it's her turn to leave her legacy during her era and tenure with the Hawkeyes.
McMahon evaluating, spinning, can't knock it down. Petty with the spin move and a couple drop in.
Nice and easy inside by Petty. Maintaining that contact and her seal.
Just watching Petty, she looks so locked in, guarding Stokey. The smoothness on the offensive end as Kennedy Cambridge is gonna pick up a foul.
Sydney Falter gets this pass off a paint spray out for that corner triple, and then Petty on the other side misses on the first attempt, stays connected to a Falter and gets that nice baby hook to go with the left.
That foul actually on Jelani Cambridge, her second, so Jelani and McMahon each have 2 personals. Ava Hayden attacking right at McMahon. Lemula with the denial, but a whistle.
It looked like Lemula got a piece of the body on the way down, and you have to protect the airborne shooter in terms of contact. Good job by Cody McMahon. No third foul right there, and actually a piece of the arm as she tagged her on the way up. Tried to save the day. I mean, there's not a lot of space because Cody McMahon was in front of her, so I think the angle that she knew she had to land changed how she attempted to block that shot.
Hayden drops in the second.
Ava Hayden had such a magnificent performance yesterday. Her presence felt every moment that she was on the court for Iowa yesterday, and the absence of Hannah Stokey with those fouls late in the game.
Jelani Cambridge, no whistle there. Looked like she had been affected on that shot. Running, it's Hayden beating everyone down for the 2 in transition. That is what this Hawkeye coaching staff loves about Hayden, her mobility, her speed at her size.
And those mitts. She has great hands.
This time, though, she fouls McMahon, who was slicing across the lane.
Coast to coast, LA to Chicago. You know that song. But look at this right here. You see Hannah Stokey getting it up the floor to Feuerbach. And look at the great hands. Going 100 miles an hour, but slowing down just enough for that nice pass. And gave some love on the way back. Like, good pass, baby. And connection of the dots in transition.
Our assist of the game fueled by Gatorade. Along the baseline, that's left short. Ohio State on their heels. It's now just a 2-point lead. They've led by as many as 9 in this game. Mila trying to deny any pass inside to Hyde, and she walks the ankles to the rim.
It's the off-ball movement for me. Oh my goodness, Hyden was just not to be denied a touch on the inside for the Hawkeyes.
Coming up at the half, we're sending it across the court here at Gamebridge. Ashley Shimmy Autumn and Lisa Bluter will talk all things quarterfinals here in the Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament as the Hawkeyes get another stop and can take the lead here.
See what they come up with. Trying to get some execution, trying to get Lucy Olsen maybe a touch. She emptied out to the strong side corner and got a slip.
Stolke inside, first lead of the game for Iowa.
Oh my goodness. Taylor Theory. Let's just go ahead and call her the silencer. TT, are you with me? Yeah. Contact plus the foul. Oh my goodness, the gracefulness. The poetic movements. Right there to finish that one. Taylor Theory, Kevin McGuff said that she was going to be the X factor, and that's exactly the shot they needed. Trying to get some momentum going to the halftime locker room.
Coach McGuff has been consistently cajoling her. More aggression on offense, taking it into her own hands. She did that right there as they bring the pressure. Closing seconds of the first half, up ahead to Stolke. Now 5 seconds to go for Guyton and the Hawkeyes. She's fouled by Green.
No fouls to give, so reached out and took one.
And that's the first on Green.
Only the 4th team foul, so let's see if they look to play straight up right here. Try to disallow any easy buckets.
Olsen, 3 seconds left, launches from deep. And that will conclude the first half. Exciting action here, and a 1-point game to determine who is moving on to the final spot in the semifinals.
Exceptional hoops, right? Both coaches, I'm sure, would love to see more offensive fluidity, but right now I love that both teams have to battle for what they want, especially on the interior.
Normally, Ohio State scoring 25 points off turnovers per game. That's 5th in the country, but their defense clearly doing that work. And Lisa was exactly right about converting the next step.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, Kevin McGuff told us today at shoot-around, he said, you know, the last time we met Iowa, they were man-to-man, but they've seen more zone in this game.
Cody McMahon starts off the 3rd quarter like she did the first. Back-to-back threes. They force the turnover here, but that suffocating press and the pressure that gets into the head of the opponent.
Well, when you can score, now you can get up and apply that pressure that is so tough to crack the code against, especially when they're right up at the line. And the teams who have found success in terms of breaking it are getting it over that second line of their 2-2-1, 3-quarter court press. They come flying around, they try to hem you up on the sidelines in those coffin corners, and that's right before the half-court line, or right over the half-court line, so you can't get to the backcourt. But this Ohio State team looking to score it so they can get into the real nitty-gritty of things, and that's their defense.
Missed by Cambridge and corralled by a Falter, one of the best rebounders in the Big Ten. Getting to work on the glass there. Iowa at one point went 6 minutes without a bucket in the first half. Coach Benson telling Elise that those are the droughts that we have to avoid. Olsen has been taking a heavy load here. 12 of her team's 28 points. Quick release by McCabe, not there. Stolke working the offensive glass. And it will stay here with the Hawkeyes.
You can see the frustration there by Hannah Stokey, and for me, I don't know if she needed that dribble right there, unless she felt off balance. But usually she just takes that right up. Maybe that dribble took her out of rhythm. See, I like Lucy Olson and Hannah Stokey being on the same side. Now they can run a little pick and roll, pick and slip action, but Olson couldn't get it to her.
Stokey snaking along the baseline, finishes with the left hand.
That baseline wasn't taken away by Petty. And Hannah Stokey took advantage. Got that deuce to drop, and now they can get right into their zone that has created havoc for the continuity of Ohio State's offense.
Long two for Jelani Cambridge. You want that one back. Ohio State still up by 1.
It was intriguing to me to hear Kevin McGuff say, we act like we haven't seen a zone before. You know, we've taken some ill-advised shots and turned it over in surprising ways. But sometimes when you're not used to that, you know, it throws you out of rhythm. But it's just all about having floor balance and attacking the gaps and forcing rotation of that zone, getting to the sweet spots right there at the foul line and the nail area in the short corner.
Olson gets downhill, misfires, excellent defense by Theory, making that a tough shot. Here's the freight train to the rim, and McMahon can't convert.
She was in a crowded space right there and usually can get those to go, but that one just trickled off the front of the rim. There's that front cut, 5-out motion.
Stokey turned on the Jets in the post. There's no answer for that kind of move.
No, it was more of a 4-out, 1-in, and Hannah Stokey was the one individually covered right there in the sweet spot in the paint.
Olson knocks it down, tried to tip it out. But that last play reminds me of Coach McGuff telling us today, the post play of Iowa is their strongest right now. Here's McMahon at the free throw line, knocking it down. She's up to 12 points.
And that 3-level scorer, Cody McMahon, knocking in threes this season. Different addition to her skill set this year. Worked extremely hard during the offseason to up her percentage by almost 16 percentage points.
Last 5 games, 50%. Here's a falter, back to work from long range. The 4th 3 for the Hawkeyes in this game.
Well, they needed that one, right? Iowa can get things clicking. They've attempted 13 threes so far in this game.
McMahon steps back, too strong. There is Petty working the offensive glass. Theory now keeping it alive for the Buckeyes.
Good job right there by Taylor Theory to get the ball back out. She was in a crowded space and probably wasn't going to have a good look at it. She's just so smart with her decision-making for the team.
McMahon fooling everybody, throwing it down to Theory. She's grimacing. I wonder if she had contact to her face.
Yeah, it looked like she's still trying to work that out on the way down the court, but those interior shots that Ohio State has missed, when you start to add those up, starting to make a difference in this low-scoring affair.
Stokey and Olson working through a pick and roll, and Olson's going to take herself to the cup.
Two-player action. Iowa is terrific.
A timeout by Kevin McGuff, with the Hawkeyes now seizing the lead 37-33 midway through the 3rd quarter.
It has been all Iowa on the latest sequence of events. Hannah Stokey going to work inside, getting that smooch off the window with her post ability. And then on the outside, Sydney Falter for a nice corner pocket triple. Lucy Olson for good measure, getting downhill and getting to the rack.
Since we started Fetch, America's Rewards app, we've helped people earn over $1 billion in Fetch points. Our next mission, to help you earn another $1 billion in Fetch points as fast as we can. You want a free gift card?
Yeah.
What's the catch? There is no catch. You literally get free gift cards for scanning receipts, playing games, or doing your shopping.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you so much.
Download Fetch and enter code FETCH for 2,000 points towards your first reward.
7 million U.S. businesses rely on TikTok to compete.
Within a week of posting, I had over $25,000 in sales.
I don't have $1 million to put towards marketing and branding. TikTok was the way, and it saved my company.
We had a video do really good this week. Sales were up 29%.
About 80% of my business right now is from TikTok.
Small businesses thrive on TikTok.
TikTok brings in so much foot traffic.
I need TikTok to keep growing. We have so much more work to do.
Hey, my treat today. I don't think they'll take that here. Of course they take Discover. You're stuck in the past. Unlike me. You look rad.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide.
With the new Ultimate Hut Bundle, create your ultimate Pizza Hut feast. I got meat lovers and double pepperoni.
Drunk, we got double pep.
I get double pep.
Dude, Bundle Bros!
Bundle Bros!
Arr, Bundle Bros!
Build yours starting at $24.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Hawkeyes up by 4 midway through the third quarter here at Gamebridge. Right now, get 50% off an annual Big Ten Plus subscription and stream over 2,500 events for the next year, including the 2025 fall season. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com to subscribe, and make sure you enter annual 25 when selecting an annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this limited time offer. Take a look at our State of Success, brought to you by State Farm, Iowa. With a win today would be 12 straight wins in the Big Ten tournament, setting a new record.
They've done it with their defense, especially down the stretch of the regular season in the Big Ten. I think that was partially deflected by Sydney Fulton.
Dropped in from three-point range by Kennedy Cambridge. She is the definition of a spark for this team. Also new on the court is Ebony Walker. Usually coming in by Coach McGuffin. He wants some extra juice too.
Kennedy Cambridge did a great job of relocating. Sydney Fulton went right back out to try to contest the shot, and she had drifted to the corner to knock in that last three.
Guyton gets the step, is met by Fury, and it's a Hawkeye turnover.
And I want to see who is going to break loose in this game. Which team is going to connect consecutive stops to consecutive buckets on the other end.
Guyton coming off the floor, gingerly walking to the end of the bench. Hopefully we see her again. It looks like she's leaving the court right now.
She took a hard fall down there.
Fury working from the high post. Ava Hayden having herself a tournament so far, forces Theory to kick out. McMahon between the legs, trying to take on Olsen.
There's really no space to attack in there.
McMahon, no good from three, tries to track it down.
Maybe it'll be better served to just have her down in the painted area as Lucy Olsen sliding across the floor, trying to save the possession.
Timeout called by Iowa. They're still leading by 1. The winner of this one.
There is always hope. And if you know anything about Jan Jensen, you have to understand that it's the journey that's the dream. She wants these players to believe in the purpose of their process, right? Everyone says trust the process. Well, you got to have purpose in the process. And 800 meters away, Sloan, you got to keep going. There's Nemo situation there for the Iowa Hawkeyes. And look where they are now, right? That 5-game losing streak was very tough mentally and physically on them. But here they are, still standing in their 3rd game of the tournament.
Feuerbach is fouled. Let's check in with Elise, who was listening in on that last Iowa huddle.
Yeah, guys, continuing to talk defense for most of that huddle. They like the zone. Jan Jensen coming over and reminding her team that when Ohio State is overloading with the 3 guards on one side, they have to talk and they have to bump over to make sure that everybody is covered. But boy, that zone has sure stymied Ohio State so far.
Well, we saw that yesterday with Iowa going to their zone and just trying to quiet the storm with Michigan State. And they're doing the same thing now. And the beauty of their zone defense is that they're moving on a string collectively as a unit on the pass. It's not just the strong side that's shifting. It's the entire unit of the zone moving. can see it right here. 2-3.
Cambridge, the freshman point guard, Big Ten freshman of the year, kicks it across to her sister Kennedy and gets the assist.
And Feuerbach held too deep to the lane line right there and tried to get there on the catch, but it was a beat too late. And Kennedy Cambridge paid it off with that triple.
Lucy Olsen with the mid-range. That doesn't go. And it's going to stay here thanks to the effort by Hannah Stolke.
Ohio State trying to massage the defense down, get it to the second side. A sister-sister connection right there. Jelani to Kennedy Cambridge for the 3.
Those two sisters also so close as well. Close range there is Hannah Stolke, an easy look inside. The Hawkeyes lead 41-39.
A fantastic execution on the out-of-bounds underplay. If you can get 6 to 8 points on your out-of-bounds plays, that will serve you well, especially in close games like this one.
Kennedy Cambridge blows by Olsen, finds Ebony Walker in the short corner for the long 2. And you see the Buckeyes clicking when they make shots they can get into this full court pressure.
Yeah, but I like how they attack the zone. They're getting the ball to the second side. And when I say second side, it's the other side of the basket. If you can get the basketball reversed, that makes the zone work.
Ava Hayden, looking more experienced than a freshman out there.
She's growing up right in front of our eyes. She wants the touches down there because she knows what to do with the basketball when she gets it.
7 points, 3 of 3 shooting. Walker was looking for back-to-back from the same spot. Theory rips it down. And another possession here for Ohio State. Theory putting it up from 3, knocking it down from 3.
Yeah, they needed that. You know, but it's the hustle plays by Taylor Theory. Kevin McGuffin said she just doesn't make mistakes. She just stays steady. He almost wishes she colored outside the lines sometimes.
Picks up the steal, gonna take it all the way. She is impenetrable on this full court pressure.
She's a toughie. She knows what's on the line here for her team and is laying her body and soul on the line for the momentum at this juncture for the team. Watch Taylor Theory right here. Picked clean like a grape off the vine, and now you can have a free and easy opportunity in the open floor. And a steal and score, bucket maker, Taylor Theory has come alive right here on the last couple of plays. She attacked the offensive boards, saved the possession, got a return pass for that corner pocket three.
The lead has swung again, now in possession of the Buckeyes. Lucy Olsen propelling herself through the full court pressure. She's at 14 points, leading her team in scoring. Stolke right behind her at 12, with 1:45 remaining in this third quarter. Hayden, good position inside, looking to Feuerbach from deep. She's got it.
And she was already in a stance. That pass came right to the shot pocket. All she had to do was lift and flick and knocked it home.
Feuerbach, only one of her 4 seasons has been above 30% from 3. She's near 40% in Big Ten play. Has turned it on with the rest of this Hawkeye team to play their best basketball. They're tied up at 46 and back to the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, and even on dead ball situations you see here, Ohio State looking to pressure. That first pass is even hard to get in here for the Hawkeyes. Cambridge, those quick feet.
One thing teams cannot do is relax once they get it over half court. McCabe for the 3, taken by Theory.
Hayden with a solid screen right there, trying to free up opportunities from range for Iowa. Just didn't drop home, but I like the execution. From that fade screen.
Into the post to McMahon. The spin move is left short. Hayden was able to affect that shot.
Cody McMahon missed the mark on that one, but I like the opportunity. Trying to get downhill and score inside against that Iowa zone.
To shoot for McCabe. feeling the sense of urgency. A falter tries to plow her way through, but she traveled. And Ohio State will have the final shot of the third, 10.4 seconds left.
That was the proper call. There was a travel there. That was good defense by Ohio State. Sydney Falter was trying to get downhill. The ball actually kind of got tied up a little bit. Changed the mechanics of her footwork.
Jelani Cambridge up the floor.
Double drag action by Ohio State, trying to free up opportunities to get inside.
Kennedy Cambridge awkward. It's Ebony Walker at the buzzer. Off the bench, an immediate impact for the Buckeyes. She is feeding the energy of her team. They lead 48-46. The intensity, an all-time high. A chance to move on to the semifinals, determined next. Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by TIAA, by Dr. Pepper, and by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Start of the fourth quarter in this final Big Ten tournament quarterfinal. The winner moving on to the semifinal tomorrow, facing number 2 seed UCLA. Ohio State feeling the sense of urgency right now. Our Autumn Johnson has them projected as a number 5 seed. That takes them out of the top 16 and therefore out of hosting the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament, where they are 15-0 at home this season.
Yeah, 5 quad 1 wins for Ohio State, and that's solid, but that last loss to Maryland right before the end of the regular season, I think they have changed some things in terms of their rhythm and flow going into the NCAA.
That last heartbreaking loss to Maryland, where Sarah Tibiasu, a running floater 3, basically at the buzzer, to win in overtime at College Park.
After Madison Green slid on her knee, kept possession of the ball, and got a reverse on the previous possession. That was just a movie of a basketball game at Maryland just a couple of days ago.
At the first foul on Stolke, she had 4 yesterday. The Sharks are coming for Lucy Olson, though. She gets it underneath to Stolke. And a discussion here.
Yeah, well, Jan Jensen's already made the call right there, saying that's a good bucket. And here, look at the Sharks in the water defensively, and that is exactly what Ohio State wants to do. They've been doing it all year, closing on blitzes and then rotating out of it, and then not established as a legal guarding defender was the call on Ebony Walker down inside.
No bucket there for Stolke, who's being guarded by Ebony Walker. Dancing through the lane is Olson, leaving it for Stolke. She gets the roll.
Stolke got that one to go. She's another player in the Big Ten who has extended her range on her shots. Cody McMahon, one of them. Hannah Stolke, another.
It's the reason it's her first year shooting. Not at 60%. She's facing up a lot more, mid-range a lot more.
Yeah.
That's how they want to see her evolution. Jelani Cambridge maneuvers at the rim to no avail.
Well, both teams have 9 offensive rebounds, but right now, Ohio State owns a 12-4 advantage. So those are viable possessions, especially here in the fourth quarter.
No bucket there. Falter fouled before.
That was on Ebony Walker as well.
On Monday, believe it or not, softball is returning to the Big Ten Network when the Buckeyes slug it out with Texas. Live coverage begins at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Admittedly still in basketball mode before I myself also transition to softball season, but I can tell you the Buckeyes are hitting a lot of bombs. That's the analysis so far. That's certainly what they're known for. Not all the electric offense with the women's basketball team, that's for sure. off the miss. Buckeye basketball. Jelani Cambridge will leave it off to Theory.
I like this dribble weave action, trying to see if they can attack downhill or try to get to one of those elbows and touch the paint with straight line drives to shrink the defense down.
That foul is going to go on Guyton, her first. She's going to check out of the game. And incredibly, just the 5th foul this half. This game has had a really great flow and a great pace.
Yeah, for as physical as it's been pretty clean here in the second half for sure for both teams. Lucy Olsen bumping up, trying to thwart Madison Green's attack.
McMahon just throws it near her bench, anywhere in the direction of Taylor Theory. She can't take care of the rest that time, and she is fouled.
Well, you saw Petty climbing the ladder right there on the offensive boards. She is just a workhorse when it comes to trying to gain possession for her team, especially for those second chance opportunities on the glass.
That'll be the second on McCabe. Green sets her feet. And in the hands of Stolke, the Hawkeyes trying to win their 3rd game in 3 days, make it 12 straight wins in the Big Ten tournament as a program, setting a new tournament record, and continue their stay here in Indianapolis against the number 3 seed who's just arrived, their first game of the tournament here, under 10 to shoot.
Trying to get the ball down in the paint, and Ohio State doing a good job to disallow touches or any attempts of shots in there.
Jelani Cambridge puncturing the defense, but can't get it to go. And Stolke, the athleticism, corralling that ball.
Really good defense both times by both teams, disallowing touches.
McCabe so dangerous from 3. And Petty holding off Stolke. Watch these two battle on the glass.
They had to, right? Great positioning down inside by Petty yet again on the board. Stolke with the double-double right now. Not allowed to get any more rebounds on that last possession inside.
Her second double-double in a row, 7th this season. Meanwhile, Ohio State 10 of 23 on layups, lacking efficiency, but not from deep when Taylor Theory is shooting.
Oh boy. And that's who you dial up when you need a bucket, especially from the outside.
Abe, that's who you go to when you need a bucket from the outside for the Hawkeyes. Not that time.
She's come up empty. The last couple of threes that she's attempted, 5 right now.
Madison Green can't make it back-to-back. McMahon takes a hard spill and still holds on to the ball. It's a jump ball, keeping it here. And McMahon, a little fiery right now.
Kevin McGuff on the court, looking for some clarification on the contact down inside. She came down with the basketball right here. And then you see the Iowa players trying to get a jump ball. The point of contact, I think, is what Kevin McGuff was trying to figure out. And you see Katie Smith, the legendary Buckeyes, on the bench after spending time in the WNBA with the Minnesota Lynx, New York Liberty, head coach, associate head coach with the Lynx.
Get it into Petty on the baseline inbound. She is in a tough place against Hyde, and another missed layup by the Buckeyes at close range. They're 1 of 7 this quarter.
And a lot of those have been right there in front of the basket and not bringing those shots home. And you see Kevin McGuff on the sideline after that last miss, and he was just looking back at his staff like, I don't know what else we can draw up. I mean, we're right there. We just have to finish plays.
Olsen, the inbounder, looking for Hayden. Almost gives it up. Feuerbach guarded by the 2-time all-defense Taylor Theory. Hayden into the paint, and she is fouled.
Now they're running the offensive sets through Ava. Ava Hayden right here, setting the screen, slipping off of it, the recipient of a great pass, and then Madison Green just late on that rotation and tags her on the way up.
It's been an interesting trajectory with this Hawkeye freshman class, the highest rated freshman class in program history in terms of top 100 prospects. She is coming to life here in Indianapolis, making her name known. But earlier this season, Coach Jensen said it was our veterans playing tight. We went to the freshmen. Last couple of weeks, those minutes have gone down, but Hayden has inserted herself. Trying to deny it in.
Trying to feed the ball down to Petty inside. The shot clock's getting very slight. Got to make some plays.
Kennedy Cambridge will drive, kick. McMahon sets her up. Sets herself up for a long two. Knocks it down.
Well, they had to. There's 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And what you have to do, you got to go inside and out and try to make that defense work against that zone.
Fierbock with the reverse, taking it into her own hands at the midway point to the fourth.
Well, that's why you have to take away the baseline and get that right foot if you're Petty on the baseline and turn her back to the corner.
Jelani Cambridge set to check back in for Ohio State. Kennedy Cambridge threads the needle to McMahon. She is fouled at the free throw line and announces her pleasure with that call.
Well, absolutely, and that's what Ohio State needs to continue to do. Get the ball to the nail at that foul line and try to shrink the defense and commit them to the basketball at those soft points of the zone. But Cody McMahon is having none of it. She is trying to bring her team back to life with the mid-range game. And then on the other side, Fierbock saying, we're still right here. 2-point game, come on back on the other side. Yeah, that's locked in. They're locking in for another spectacular doubleheader. We'll see who fills that last bracket. Final 4 for the weekend.
McMahon barreling to the rim, too strong. She's fouled and coming up a little gingerly. Elise was listening into that last Iowa huddle.
You guys, you talk about giving confidence to a shooter. Taylor McCabe 0 for 5 from three-point line, but she is a sniper, one of the best three-point shooters in the Big Ten Conference. And Jan Jansen walked up during that huddle, looked her right in the eye when she sat down and said, "You're due." And then she told her team, "You guys have worked so hard for this moment. Let's seize it. We're going to do this." And got everybody and looked him in the eye. It was a pretty powerful moment from Coach Jensen.
Thanks, Elise. That's exactly right about Taylor McCabe. I think earlier against Nebraska, she was 0 for 1 in the first half, finished with 5 threes in that game in a critical victory in her home state in Lincoln, Nebraska. She can strike whenever the time is right.
Well, let's see what Lucy Olsen can come up with. I want to see her get activated on the offensive end. She's been kind of quiet here in that regard in the second half.
McCabe, no good that time. She's now 0 for 6 from long range. The green light's still on.
Take shots to make shots.
Madison Green, what a pump fake, opening up Jelani Cambridge, taking off to the rim. Taylor Theory from 3, yes!
She has really been tremendous with her momentum-changing triples and steals.
And her steals, but right into the hands of Stolke. So much activity, the buzzing around by the Buckeyes, fueling them now. Inside into Hayden, she misfires. Jelani Cambridge up ahead to McMahon. She's gonna pull back.
Get the basketball to your seniors if you're Ohio State. It's been really fun to watch Taylor Theory just evolve into this magnificent leader for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And on that previous play, Jelani Cambridge gives it over to Madison Green, gets it back, gets a piece of the paint, spray out opportunity yet again in that left corner. That has been her sweet spot for this entire game. Jelani Cambridge, great recognition, smart pass, and got it right into her hands for the lift and flick of it all.
Play with a plan, sponsored by TIAA. 3:30 on the clock, the winner of this game. Moving on to tomorrow's semifinal against UCLA, and Ava Hayden continues to step up for the Hawkeyes.
Have yourself a tournament. Ava Hayden cannot be denied inside. Solid catch and finish and execution of post play inside the paint.
McMahon contorts herself around the rim. She is fiercely determined to try and close this game. Her team leading by 4. It is hard to match her competitiveness and her fire we see game in, game out.
And then on top of that, she has the physical prowess to dominate moments. And that's what we're seeing the last couple of times as she's headed to the line.
McMahon today, 15 points, couple rebounds. The Big Show delivers highlights, interviews, and complete analysis that is coming up next on the Big Ten Network. We're going into the final weekend of men's basketball. Of course, here in Indianapolis, the semifinals will be set just minutes from now.
Here we go, look at Hayden down inside with Cody McMahon stuck behind her.
She just flips it up, it won't go, but McMahon was buried in the paint.
She was. And she was basically underneath the net. Hayden did a good job of establishing her position. They just couldn't tie a bow on that bucket.
Still back-to-back double-figure games for Ava Hayden. Here's Fierback dialing up the pressure, and the block is made. Jelani Cambridge is slow to get up. She collided with multiple photographers here. It's 5-on-4, leaving open a Falter, who makes the pay. A 2-point lead for the Buckeyes. Time out, Ohio State.
Well, this has been an amazing turn of events. There's something in the atmosphere right now. And I believe it's March Madness. Both teams coming alive, fighting for a fiery finish. And this has been a fight for possessions. Look at Jelani Cambridge blocked by Hayden, but she goes like a bowling ball into about 3 camera people on the baseline. And then right here, Cynthia Falter coming up huge, a little fake to the corner, sends Taylor Theory away, sets up the spacing so she can properly pay that off. And Caitlin Clark and her mom up with the fist pump for that effort. A couple claps, clapping it up here in Indianapolis. Fun times for the Hawkeyes.
Ohio State with 1 timeout remaining, Iowa with 2. A win today for the Hawkeyes would mean 12 straight wins in the Big Ten tournament, setting a new record. Ohio State seeking its 4th semifinal appearance. The last 5 seasons also looking to propel themselves in that conversation for a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament to host the first 2 rounds. The pressure is on for both of these teams. 2 minutes to play.
Well, I love that Ohio State did a double drag action against the zone, trying to clear a ball reversal so that they can kind of get them in rotation and attack it.
2 seconds to shoot. Jelani Cambridge with a heave, tracked down by Green. And then she travels, turning it over to Iowa.
She got stuck on that baseline. Madison Green was leaning backwards on those heels. Right there, picked up the dribble. And then Cynthia Falter giving her the complete blues. She shuffled her pivot foot.
Ohio State turned it over 0 times in the 3rd, 3 times here in the 4th. Olsen staring down a 2-time all-defense selection in Theory. Now in the hands of Fierback. The pick, the slip, the quick ball movement of Falter. Back to back. Iowa calls a timeout. The Hawkeyes leading by 1 and picking up their play with clutch shots. Let's take a look at our good hands play sponsored by Allstate.
Well, all the way around, this was a solid play. Good hands, good extra passes. And as Lisa Bluter would say, beautiful. The extra passes and the connectivity on the offensive end. Those create great looks. Give up the good shot that would have been from the corner from McCabe, who has not knocked in a three yet. She gave it up to Sydney Falter, who just hit a triple on the other side of the floor. And the fans in the building are going completely crazy, including Cece, Caitlin Clark. It's all love here for the Hawkeyes, who are seizing the moment. And that is what Jan Jensen said. Seize the moment. We're here for a reason. Star in your role and finish the job.
Iowa leads by 1, 59-58. They put it in the hands of their point guard, Olsen.
Ohio State plays defense, maybe a blitz, try to blitz and rotate out of it.
Cade thought about a three. Olsen will drive, kick, Feuerbach touches rim. Taylor Theory will now sprint through the front court, almost has it taken away. Still along the baseline, she's gonna retreat. Coach McGuff calls a timeout, 19.8 seconds left. Ohio State is out of timeouts. Iowa has one remaining. Both teams are in the bonus right now.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was gonna call a timeout, but Taylor Theory dribbled past him, but he was trying to see if she had anything to the rim, and when that got closed off, he said, let's reorganize, get the ball in on the sideline, and execute.
What kind of shot and from whom does he go to here?
I say it's either going to be Cody McMahon or Taylor Theory, something to the rim. I think there's going to be some screens against that zone to try to clear maybe a straight line drive from the nail. I think there's going to be a nail entry at the high post, a one dribble and a two-step layup opportunity, and maybe trying to create some chaos at the rim. And if they don't get the bucket to go, at least possibly they could get themselves to the free throw line. So I think it's going to be an attack. They don't need a three. I think it's going to be something definitely to the rim. But against this staunch defense, they're going to have to free it up with some screening.
Earlier this season, on February 17th, it was an overtime win for Ohio State. The Hawkeyes were trailing by 12 with 90 seconds to play. Lucy Olsen was completely unconscious in this game. A three-point play caps it off to force overtime. And then Ohio State found absolutely new energy, took off, and surged to the victory in Columbus. But what a battle that was. Part two here. The shot clock is up. Seconds left for Cambridge. McMahon gets herself to the rim.
They said it's on the floor.
It is on the floor.
Man, but it was Cody McMahon getting a touch and getting downhill with the basketball. She wasn't quite at the nail, but she was on that lane line. And Hannah Stokey made contact with her prior to her upward motion.
McMahon 65% from the free throw line this season. Down the first.
Jan Jensen imploring her team to box out.
6.7 seconds left. McMahon steps up, knocks them down. This is a big moment for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Christy. This season, they are 2-4 in games decided by 3 points or less. 1 in 5 in games decided by 5 points or fewer. Coach Jensen has talked about, hey, this is my first time in this chair, in this role, learning throughout this process, and an opportunity here. They trailed by 1, 6.7 seconds left. How does this look?
Well, you know what? I love that last possession by Ohio State. And let's just dissect what happened on that end first, because they really put pressure on Iowa to stay clean defensively. And that's why I said it's got to be something downhill. It's got to be something in the hands of Taylor Theory or Cody McMahon. Cody got it, made the most of it, didn't make the shot, or that was disallowed, but she got herself to the free throw line. So you give yourself a chance when you put pressure like that on the rim. But Jan Jensen on the other end right here, She is organizing her squad in the huddle. And I know that she's going to come down here and try to do the same thing, right? Put pressure on Ohio State with some straight line drives to the rack. You're talking about paint points. Iowa has a +4 advantage in that in this game, 28-24. Don't have a lot of time, but that's plenty of time, and I think it's going to be Hannah Stuelke who gets this one. And Ebony Walker matched with her.
Timeout advances the basketball. No timeouts on either side. Both teams in the bonus. 6.7 seconds to go. A falter darting her way to the rim. Cody McMahon tries to corral it. She can't. There's 7 tenths on the clock.
They went with Sydney Falter, trying to come off of that screen at the elbow and getting downhill on that left side.
We're going to take a look at possession here, possibly.
Fans are wondering where the contact was on that particular possession offensively.
That play is in review along with the clocks.
Taniya Davis, Iowa's great legends, trying to walk her down, but trying to see how much time is left on the clock when the ball went out of bounds underneath, and also possession.
1.5 seconds, perhaps.
The ball bounces inbounds under there. It's the second bounce that they are adjudicating at this moment. Looks like 0.7 is where it may remain. Take a look once again from this angle. Cody McMahon right there. It's off the inside of her leg, 0.7 seconds.
And it was originally called the Iowa ball. We're sorting out that to confirm and sorting out the time.
Yeah, very clear. Ball on the ground, 0.7 on the clock.
On the floor is confirmed. It's Iowa basketball and clocks are correct. 0.7.
What do you do in 0.7 seconds?
Or you go for a lob. That would put everybody on the weak side lane line, set a screen, and bring somebody off the top of that and lob it in. Or set a straight line across, and then lean in and pop somebody back and lob it up. It's got to be a quick one. You have enough time to catch and shoot. More than 0.3. But it's got to be quick. Got to get a quick touch.
Coach Jensen trying to make an appeal. 0.7 seconds left. Olsen is the inbounder. Olsen also is making conversation. Here she's ready to take it out. Lemila guarding the inbounder. It's Stuelke at the buzzer, and Ohio State will carry an electrifying victory to the semifinals. Advances to the Big Ten semifinals, the 4th time in the last 5 appearances.
Let's take a look at the last play right here. Going right into Hannah Stuelke, just a little bit off the mark. Cody McMahon celebrating, running the other way, but had a great look at it. Just not enough lift. It was a great look, though. And the opportunity to advance for the 4th time in the last 5 seasons for Ohio State. Tough one for Hannah Stuelke and the Hawkeyes. Cody McMahon enjoying the moment for the Buckeyes, who would